Hey there, Perk Church. This is Pastor Mike, and this is Perkstream for September 22nd, 2021. Well, I'm glad you could join me today. Today I've moved it inside, so I hope you don't mind. Today I want to pick up on the conversation we started last week. We started talking about, do you know what you're about? Do you have a clear vision for what you are doing in life? Just as we as a church are honing in on our vision for what we want to see happening in the future and establishing some priorities around that, so we can also do that with our personal life. And one of the things I want to add to that now is, if you know your what, do you know your why? Do you know the purpose? Do you know the meaning? Do you know what it is that's driving you? Because why is really your drive. It's the thing that makes you move forward. It's what drives you to take forward whatever you're moving. As parents, we are driven to raise our kids to be independent, to be people who can stand on their own 2 feet. And our why is that they might be able to launch out into life in the future and be able to stand. So we have a why behind the things that we do. But our life is more than just raising kids. It's more than our job. What is the why for your life? It's a fair question. I think it's a fair question for us. It's a fair question for our church as well. As a church, we've identified our why as inspiring people to follow Jesus. And our why is leading us to 3 strategic priorities. We are going to be a place where people belong, a place where people grow, and a place where people serve. And you could say, well, why those 3 and not some other 3? And that's a very good question. Well, our why and our what is all rooted in who we are. When we talk about Perk, we talk about Perk as a place where people do care for other people. And so being a place where people belong matches that part of our DNA. It's also a place where people can put down roots into Jesus, who can learn His Word, who can learn to obey His commands, and so they grow. And then from that, we learn to serve, because serving also reflects the nature of Jesus. So as we inspire people to follow Jesus, we're finding those ways to help people do that reflect who the Master is. Such as in this way, on the last night when Jesus was preparing to depart from this world, He was looking down the road to His crucifixion. There was this one last meal He had with His fellow disciple, with His disciples rather. And in that time, Jesus hears a dispute break out, and they are arguing among themselves, the disciples are, about who would be the greatest person. And Jesus kind of says this, I imagine He kind of says it with a little bit of a terse voice maybe. He says, Jesus said to them, "The kings of the Gentiles lord it over them, and those who exercise authority over them call themselves benefactors." You might read in there benevolent dictators. But you are not to be like that. Instead, the greatest among you is to be like the least, and the one who rules like the one who serves. For who is greater, the one who is sitting at the table or the one who serves? Is it not the one who is at the table? But I am among you as one who serves. Jesus knew what He was there to accomplish. He knew He was establishing God's kingdom. He knew He was gathering a band of followers to hold this good news, and that good news was going to be found as people relied on Jesus and His blood and His sacrifice. So all of this working together, Jesus knew that His life was a life of serving others, serving for their best interest. And He needed to get that across to His disciples, because His disciples were not going to be set in a rank and file system with a pecking order. Rather, the person who would be considered greatest would be the one who serves. So, brothers and sisters, as we consider that Jesus knew not only His what, but He knew His why, can we also say that we can learn our why? And our why can be rooted in Jesus. In fact, I would encourage us to root our life in Jesus, our why, our reason for doing things in Jesus. When I consider my what, and that is being a faithful follower of Jesus Christ and inviting others to do the same, my why is so that they can live the best life ever, and they can live so they're better at life. And those are not my words necessarily, those are coined from someone else, but it's just this idea that my why is that life in Jesus is the best life ever. And I have that to offer to people, and so my why is to see just how many people I can get to buy into that life and to follow Jesus and to root their lives in Jesus. So if I can play a role in some way, I hope to do that with you, with others, and see the kingdom of God move forward. So that's Perkstream for today. Thanks for being here. Be looking in the future for more expansion on the idea of what we see as our missional priorities, our church priorities, as we inspire people to follow Jesus. That Perk will be a place where people belong, where people can grow, and where people serve. God bless you. Have a great day. I'll see you on Sunday or next week here at Perkstream.